Pete Diamond here in Jacksonville, Florida, and today's project is I just recently had a new engine installed in my 2011 E250, and it has the 4.6 liter V8 single overhead cam engine in it. And when they did the engine replacement, they also had to put on a new intake manifold. So this was about I don't know, a couple months ago. This Friday night I was driving home from work and noticed some white puffs of smoke coming out from the rear of the van. Pulled over, took a look, couldn't see anything wrong, and then because I was on the interstate, I got on the gas to get back on the interstate, and then all of a sudden temperature gauge is pegged out, check engine light came on.
It says check engine.
Uh-oh, tape must have fallen off. There, problem solved.
And the red temperature warning light came on, so I pulled over, and let me show you what I found. So when I pulled off to the side of the road, there was a massive amount of coolant just flooding out of the bottom of the engine. So obviously a hose or something had come loose. So on the Ford Econoline vans, you can take the doghouse cover off to access the back of the engine, which is what I did. And what I noticed was there is an unused coolant port on the back side of the motor. So this would be on the passenger side, and there's a rubber cap that sits over this with an inadequate wire clamp to hold it on, and apparently it must have started to leak, which is the first puffs of smoke that I was seeing, which is actually steam with the antifreeze in it hitting the exhaust manifold or the exhaust pipe. And then when I pulled back onto the freeway, I must have blown the cap completely off because it was just gone. And looked it up when I got home, and apparently this is a well-known issue with the aftermarket plastic intake manifolds. So I'll show you what to look for on yours. I'll go inside and pull it up on the computer and take a look at that. So here we are on the rockauto.com website, and as you can see, it gives us several options for the intake manifold. These are all aftermarkets. Now I believe mine is the Auto Technica. As you can see right there, that is the unused port with the little rubber cap on it. Trying to see if I can get a better image of it. It's the same thing for the Dorman. This is the intake manifold upside down, but you can see that little wire spring clip, and that's the issue, is that just blows off. There it is again from the other angle. So yeah, so that's the problem. So this 4.6 liter V8 single overhead cam, it's the engine that was used in some Crown Victorias, some Explorers, and a lot of the Ford Econoline vans. So this is a common issue. But the question then is what do you do to fix this? Now, I don't know if you can see on here, there is a very small lip on the outside of this port. So there's not a whole lot for the clamp to. You know how when you have a radiator hose, there's usually a flange that the hose goes over. Well, this is pretty low, so there's not much there to stop whatever you put on from popping off. So in any case, this is a 3/4 inch OD housing. In other words, you would want to get a 3/4 inch ID plug to go over it. That's one method, and then to put a real hose clamp on it. But I've read online guys saying that they do that and it lasts, you know, a couple months, a few months. One guy even said that he carried some spares and some spare coolant in his RV because this is just a reoccurring problem. Well, that just seems retarded to me. So what are your options for fixing it? Well, because I was broke down on the side of the road, my bride came and got me with 4 gallons of water and gave me a ride to the local parts store. And this is what I picked up. So this is a 1/2 inch male national pipe thread plug, and like I said, the outside of that nipple is 3/4 inch, so a short piece of 3/4 inch heater hose, some Teflon tape around this plug, screwed that in, clamped that on, and then clamped this on. So that's one way that you can fix it. And again, I've seen guys complaining about this not holding up for very long, and the issue is, again, there is not much. So yeah, you're going to get some clamping force just directly on the smooth plastic, but there isn't much of a lip to stop that from just flying back off again. So let me show you what else I've come up with. Okay, so like I said, the OD on this is 3/4 inch. The internal is 1/2 inch, which means that if you take a 1/4 inch pipe thread tap, you can tap a thread in that, and you chase that all the way down. Then I'm going to use, focus, this is 1/4 inch male pipe thread plug, and because this plug's never going to come out again, I'm going to put some JB weld on it and secure it that way. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to wind that plug down as far as I can and then fill in the top around that square with some more JB weld and seal that up permanently. So let me get to putting that together. Now, full disclosure, I didn't come up with this idea. I just happened to see a picture of the after on one of the forums, but of course there was no explanation as to what size fittings he used or anything else, but everybody commented like, wow, that's just overkill, oh my god. Well, this is what I'm going to do. So let me get some JB weld on this plug and thread it in, and I'll be right back. So that's it screwed in about as deep as I can get it because the tool keeps coming off. Just be mindful, this is plastic, so you don't want to go caveman on it. When I used the thread cutter, I was able to go all the way down until it bottomed out on the threads, right? So let's see if I can get to it. Change the angle here. Right, so I was able to get the thread all the way down. You could use another, you don't have to use pipe thread fittings. It just happened to be the tap that I had. You could use, you know, any kind of thread. Coarse thread is probably better going into a plastic, but it doesn't really matter. And again, the ID of that hole is 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill the gaps around the top of this plug and cover the whole thing with some more JB Weld. Make sure that that's tight. Just a little tip when you're working with JB or any epoxy, if you get your finger wet with some saliva, you can actually tool the JB Weld and get a nice clean smooth finish on it. So gonna let that harden up, refill it with coolant and water, and hopefully problem fixed. So I'll be back in a bit. And of course you got to refill it with the proper coolant, which for this motor is the gold. So put that in. Coolant capacity, I forget what it is. It's somewhere around 5 gallons. You may or may not get that amount of water in there, but this is concentrated, so you're mixing this 50-50 with they say distilled water, but I'm using filtered softened water. I'm in Florida, so our freeze risk is very low, so I'm just going to put 1 gallon of the concentrate in and fill it up with water the rest of the way. Okay, this is set up, so I'm going to give it just a little bit longer. I've got the coolant started to fill up, and then I'll fire up the engine and wait till the thermostat opens and get the coolant filled up all the way. So far so good. So I'm going to let the engine warm up and then adjust the coolant level. Also got the heater set to full heat. Just wait for the temperature to come up. The fluid level's a little high in the reservoir, but that's okay because the top radiator hose is not warm yet, which means the thermostat hasn't opened. So it's just a waiting game. All done. So all good. So just to recap, if you replace your plastic intake manifold on your 4.6 litre V8 single overhead cam engine, go ahead and address this issue before it leaves you stranded on the freeway. So you can put a better hose clamp around it, put a better rubber cap on it with a better hose clamp, do the piece of 3/4 inch heater hose with a plug in it, or you can drill and tap that, or just tap that thread, 1/4 inch male pipe thread with a plug and JB Weld. And it is perfect. So I hope this video helps. P Diamond, Jacksonville, Florida. Thanks for watching.